le verbe préférer au présent. To prefer in present tense. Je préfère. Tu préfères. Il préfère. Elle préfère. On préfère. Nous préférons. Vous préférez. Il préfère. Elle préfère. Before you go, mes amis, here is something very important you must remember when conjugating the verb préférer. Préférer is a stem spelling change verb. Now, look carefully at the accents in the infinitive préférer. You see, there are two accents aigus. They look like two little French hats leaning to the right? But when we conjugate this verb, the second accent aigu, I mean the one closer to the end of the stem, gets a little tired of leaning all the time and it tips the other way. It becomes accent grave with all the subject pronouns except nous and vous, where it stays the same. What about the first accent aigu? Well, it remains simply the same, no change. Now, the good news is that this type of conjugation doesn't just apply to préférer. Many other French verbs follow exactly the same pattern. You may ask, which verbs? Well, look for this structure. Verbs ending in er, meaning they belong to the first group, verbs, verbe du premier groupe, verbe du premier groupe. Right before that er, we have a consonant. And before that consonant, we have an accent aigu. Accent aigu. And before that accent aigu, we have other letters of the stem. Let's have an example. The verb espérer, to hope. Espérer. So as you can see, espérer ends in er. Before the er, we have consonant r. Before the consonant r, we have a accent aigu. And before that accent aigu, we have some other letters. Here, esp. Espérer. Let's have another example. To memorize the structure, the verb répéter, to repeat. Répéter. Same story here. Ending in er. Before the er, we have the consonant t, t in French. Before t, we have accent aigu. And before that accent aigu, we have some other letters of the stem. So all these verbs will have exactly the same pattern as the verb préférer. The last accent aigu in the stem will change to accent grave with all the subject pronouns except nous and vous. But there is something else to watch out for. Pay attention. With verbs following this structure, if the consonant right before the er ending is a C or a G, in French, C ou bien G, then we need to apply a double spelling change. Why? Because the letters C and G in French need a little extra attention, not just for spelling, but to make sure we keep the right pronunciation in French. Let's break it down. So let's have an example of verbs ending in CER. The verb rapiécer, to patch something up. Rapiécer. With rapiécer, not only do you apply the E accent aigu to E accent grave change with all the subject pronouns except nous and vous, but also in the nous form, you need to add a cedilla under the letter C before the letter O of the nous ending ONS. Why? Because it keeps that cedilla will keep the soft S sound of the infinitive. Nous rapiéçons with the cedilla under the C because C in front of an O is pronounced co normally in French. And to keep that S sound of the infinitive rapiécer, we need to add that cedilla. Otherwise, we will pronounce rapiécons with the nous form. So you need to add the cedilla under the C. Why we don't add that cedilla with other subject pronouns? Well, simply because in French, the C in front of an E is pronounced already se. Okay? And now here comes the G squad. Let's look at verbs ending in GER. Example, protéger, to protect. Protéger. Same story here. We apply the E accent aigu to E accent grave change where needed, I mean in all subject pronouns except nous and vous, but with the nous form, we also add an E after the G and before the ending ONS to keep the soft G sound of the infinitive. So we want to keep that G sound, protéger infinitive. So without that E between the G and ONS, we will pronounce nous protégons. And we don't want that, okay? Je protège. Tu protèges. Il protège. Elle protège. On protège. Attention here. Nous protégeons. Don't forget the E. Vous protégez. Il protège. Elle protège. Once you've made the one stem change or the double stem changes where needed, you simply add the typical endings for the first group verbs. E with the subject pronoun je, es with the subject pronoun tu, with the subject pronouns il, elle, and on, ons with the subject pronoun nous, ez with the subject pronoun vous, and ent with the subject pronouns il with an s for plural, masculine groups or mixed groups, and for feminine groups we use the subject pronoun elle with an s, and the ending for that subject pronoun is ent. Okay? And voila, mes amis, you now master préférer and its whole family of verbs. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe, and if you haven't yet, share with anyone who wants to improve their French. Merci beaucoup for watching and see you very soon for another